Are we ready? Did everybody have enough chance to look over? Yes?
Yes.
All right. For the record, we started this meeting, called it to order at 11:10 a.m. Today's April the 20th, and we are meeting as a Blue Ribbon Committee for people with disabilities for the city of Laredo. We have just had time to look over the minutes from our past meeting, which was March 16th. Do we have any recommendations for any changes, additions, or deletions to the notes from our last meeting?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Can I get a motion, please, in a second?
I motion. Jackie.
Jackie motioned, and do we have a second, please?
This is Diana. I'll second.
Thank you, Diana. All right. Thank you, team. So then the next question is if we have any public comments today. Tiffany, do you know if anybody?
No, there's no public comments.
All right, nobody signed up for public comments. Good. All right, well, we'll move forward to discussion and possible actions. For part A is report from Christine, Special Needs Program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I always try to keep my report brief, but I know these last 2 months we've had so many events, outreaches, as well as collaborations. So if there's any questions regarding the events or upcoming events, you're more than welcome to stop me and I can answer. Our program staff members completed and received a certificate in youth mental health first aid training. This youth mental health first aid training helped our staff for early intervention and public education programs. It teaches adults how to recognize the signs and symptoms that suggest a potential mental health challenge, how to listen non-judgmentally, and give reassurance to a youth who may be experiencing a mental health challenge, or however, to refer a person to appropriate professional support and services. Our staff also continues to attend the second annual Health and Human Services Office of Disability Prevention for Children statewide virtual conference. The conference key topics were on preventing intellectual and developmental disabilities in children. Organizations and agencies discussed and learned about strategies for creating positive change in the lives of children and families across Texas. Our program hosted 2 webinars for Autism Awareness Month with the Partners Resource Network. The first webinar that was hosted on April 1st provided education and resources for Texas Autism Supplement. The second webinar that was hosted on April 8th provided education and resources on how sensory issues affect children in school. Both the webinars had 80 families registered.
Wow.
On April 2nd, our program was invited to have an outreach booth at the Lighted Blue Autism Awareness event at Laredo College. The Community Support Group Families for Autism Support and Awareness was a key organizer in the event as well. Our program was very happy to be part of this event. We were able to provide information about our program and help families with resources. The program, fire department, and the epidemiology department are collaborating on an emergency preparedness event for families. Our program was referred 120 new families to provide them with FEMA educational resources, sensory tactile material for school, recreational therapy activities such as journaling was provided, handwriting tools for daily living supplies, and emergency funding. Items have been distributed at Fire Station number 8 on Delmar through a drive-through event. The program will be providing the community and collaborating with Aquatics Division from the Parks and Recreation Department on Water Safety Month, which is May. Education on water safety is key to help prevent injuries and even death in children and young adults with special health care needs. This year, we were able to get Collins Hope organization that was introduced by the state to offer educational webinars on water safety for families with tips and resources. The organization will also be dedicating a special training to the aquatics division and provide stats and data that emphasize the importance on water safety in children and young adults with special health care needs. Our staff myself, I will be graduating this weekend from Texas Council for Developmental Disabilities, Texas Partners in Policymaking. The graduation is going to be taking place in Austin, Texas. So I'm really excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a very educational and motivating experience. It's been great. It was a year-long program, but it was very, again, educational, and it's when it comes to advocacy, especially pushing through programming and inclusivity, it's really taught us a lot on how to strategically advocate and look for solutions. So I've been really blessed to be part of that program.
That's great.
Good job, Christine.
Thank you. Our program has created through this month educational flyers and videos on medical home education, autism awareness, community inclusion, and emergency preparedness. Our upcoming webinars for the month of May, for instance, in Friday, May 6th, we're going to be hosting a webinar for young adults transitioning from high school to college. This workshop is going to provide parents and high school students with disabilities practical suggestions and information about college admission processes. Topics including disclosures of disability, self-advocacy, available accommodations, and other resources. This webinar has already been able to register 108 families and students. We have also an upcoming webinar for Friday, May 13th. We're going to be focusing on children's mental health services overview. This workshop provides an introduction to mental health services for children, both in the school and community settings. We'll be identifying some of the common categories of mental health disorders and discuss the requirements set forth by IDEA to help students identified as having mental health disorders. We'll also look into some of the various services available both through the school to help the child academically and within the community to help family receive the comprehensive help and support that they need. Our program is currently collaborating with the public libraries on this year's sensory room projects. We've already completed the Fasken Recreation Center. We'll soon have more information on the opening of that area. But we are currently working on 4 new projects. We'll be working with 4 library locations: Laredo Main Public Library, McKendrick Ochoa Salinas Branch, Barbara Fasken Library, and Lamar Bruni Inner City Library. The sensory areas and rooms will help create an inclusive environment and offer additional programming for families with children and young adults with special healthcare needs. Some of the programming includes monthly community support group meetings, workshops, and library activities that the branch offers. So we're really excited about that. Those are 4 new additional areas to the community. We have currently enrolled several hundred new clients from this last month. So it brings our total to 486 clients, putting our program at 572% of clients served in Laredo. And that is my report.
Excellent.
Excellent.
I have a question for you, please. Ms. Christine, the webinars such as the partners for AQ, how do people get access to that, just in general?
We do share a flyer that gives registration information. We also have web link registrations available when we share it through social media. But I know sometimes our social media might get overlooked. So what I also do is connect with community support groups as well as past clients and current clients that we currently have, and throw out a mass text or a mass flyer message so that everyone, or hopefully it's shared and it's networked enough so we can get these families registered. So not only is it through our social media page, but we also send them to social community support groups, past and current clients, Again, I know word of mouth is very powerful, so that's why we try to share it with our past clients that have already graduated from our program that might have a family member or someone they might know, or vice versa of current members.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
And you always give us the web link with our webpage for the city of Laredo. I'm getting an echo. Are you guys hearing me twice?
It's kind of cutting off.
That's what I hear. All right. I wanted to echo what Diana just said, and that's congratulations. We're very proud of your accomplishment. What's wonderful about you graduating is that it's gonna benefit not just you, but the whole community. So I wanted to make sure how proud we are that you've graduated from this program. That's gonna bring benefits for everyone.
Yes, thank you so much. And like I had mentioned before, the education through this program has opened my mind so much to again living through a personal experience with my children, my son having a developmental disability, my daughter having a physical disability. I've learned to help advocate for all, and that was the key of learning how to do that and strategically do that so we can find solutions for any issues that we may have, or connecting resources that might fill those gaps that we need it filled. So it was such a great experience, and thankfully I have a second family with them, and I'm able to connect and network with them as well to see what I can bring here in Laredo. So I'm really excited about that.
Well, you're a blessing. To be sure. Do we have any questions on that report, team? Does anyone have any discussion regarding all the services and the webinars, all the connections within the community, and all the great things that are happening as a result of Ms. Reyes' work? No, we're good? All right. The next item on our agenda is the review and update services for people with disabilities and any other new additional services in regards to COVID-19 and the pandemic. Do we have any other information or services to report? Usually Erica tells us about that. Is she available on the phone?
No, she won't be able to come in. She's out sick.
All right. Tell her to get better. We need her too. She's there for everyone, isn't she? All right, going on to the next item. Discuss possible actions, if any, to better protect the health of people with disability being threatened by the ethylene oxide released by the sterilization plant. Again, Erica was going to give us an update on that. Jaime, Diana, do y'all have any updates on what's going on in that regard?
No, I personally don't have any updates. I mean, I know that there's a committee that was created, right, or is in effect trying to advocate and educate on that, but other than that, I'm not aware. I think Ceci was able to join us, just for the record. Ceci, can you hear us? I know she's on, but maybe she can't hear me. Okay.
Diana, we're having some technical difficulties this morning. Maybe she can hear us, but we can't hear her.
Yes, probably.
Thank you for joining us, Ceci. I don't have an update on that item either, so we will move on. Discuss and recommend possible new replacement members to City of Laredo Mayor for consideration and approval to our Blue Ribbon Committee. Do we have an update on that?
The only thing pending was, it was like a letter that I gave, Mr. Castillon, and the only thing pending on that, it was already approved, just his signature, and it's going to be sent to the city secretary.
Excellent. Okay,
Yes, so hopefully by the end of this week, we'll be finalized with that.
that's wonderful. So we'll have our 2 replacement members. Thank you very much for your work on that, Tiffany.
Yes, no worries.
Sure. Do we have any announcements? None at this time? Anything going on at the school, Simon? No?
No, not this time. We're just getting ready for STAR, so it's pretty busy for the STAR exam, but nothing else at this
Yeah.
time.
I know that the veterans are having what they call the vet test. And that'll happen tomorrow, the 21st from 4 to 8 at the Bartlett Park. There'll be door prizes, food trucks, some type of legal assistance, veteran benefits info, veteran organizations. They're going to have some type of raffle, bouncy houses, face painting, Disney characters, and more. So this is one of the first that they're doing. We're part of, as probably some of you on this panel are, the Texas Veterans Network Alliance. And they made that announcement at the meeting, and we'll be there with the table set up and whatnot, just letting community know.